Wise people have read it. What's a one-liner pearl of wisdom, you know? It's not about avoiding adversity. It's about how much you can handle. If you have small adversities throughout life, then when the bigger adversities happen, you will be able to handle them better. This is why making sure your kids have an easier life than you did is a bad thing. I never had to deal with adversity when I was a kid. My parents protected me at every step of life. Now, when adversity slaps me in the face, I can hardly handle it. I have gotten better in time, but it is still a monumental struggle to figure it out without just throwing my hands up and saying fuck it. Don't cast pearls at swine. It's a religious proverb. It means not to offer valuable or precious things to those who are incapable of appreciating their worth or who are unworthy of them. In a broader sense, it advises against wasting time or resources on people who cannot or will not recognize their value. I'm not religious. I have recently realized how powerful this statement is in my own life with offering advice to people who never listen or take it, just content on simmering in their own misery. Meaning is not metaphysical. A lot of us try to find meaning somewhere out there in a philosophy or religion of some kind. But personally, I think meaning is just a human experience akin to taste. You won't find any objective taste of chocolate either if you put a chocolate bar under a microscope. And yet we experience chocolate taste anyway. Meaning is also an experience that arises when humans interact with the world. If you help someone or listen to your favorite music, you might find it feeling. Early is on time is late. Late is useless. This line applies itself in life as a whole. Say your work starts 8:00, then be there 7:55. So you can be ready at 8:00. If you get there at 8:00, then you'll start later. And if you get late to your shift late, then what in the actual fuck were you doing not being here at 8:00? Personally, I let up to 10 minutes late slide, but more than that I start getting mad at everyone. I'm not sure if my knowledge of English is enough, but I'll give it a try. In Polish there are two words, prawda I why God not truth credibility or reality or something like this. It's not quite the right translation, but I think the meaning will be clear. Everyone extols the truth. They think it's the standard, but no one is interested in the credibility. Be helpful. That's what I tell my employees. Don't be pushovers, but be helpful. Instead of we don't do that, say we don't do that, but if you'd like I can give some names of companies who do. It takes 2 extra minutes and they won't hang up thinking, well, that was a waste of time. Our business relies on repeat business. Here are a few I gleaned from the office that have always stuck with me. Not everything's a lesson, Ryan. Sometimes you just fail. There are always a million reasons not to do something. Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And, if they would, I do not do that thing. It's all the capacity they have to understand. In reference to parents using the tools they were given to raise you, they may not know how to deal with things that were not talked about when they grew up, so they handle it the only way they know how to best, even if they're wrong the way they went about it. Never look at your neighbor's plate, unless it is to ensure they have enough. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And one Vonnegut quote for good measure. And I urge you to please notice when you are happy and exclaim or murmur or think at some point, if this isn't nice, I don't know what is. I'm not going to call myself a wise person. But 1. Try not to dismiss things you don't care as idiocy or malicious. Try making excuses for people. And 2, don't simply view your life based on happiness or sadness. Look at it with gratitude when things are good and patience when times are difficult. Hold off on shaving as long as possible. I was a preteen and my uncle who said it was going for a divorce after his wife got pregnant. He'd had a vasectomy, so not his. At the time I thought he was just telling me that shaving sucks. Got older and realized he was telling me being an adult sucks. Not wise in the least, but Point 1. The principle of sufficient reason. To force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after you are gone. And so hold on when there is nothing in you except for the will that says to them hold on. P.S. Pardon the lack of paragraphing. I'm on mobile. Live in the now. Don't put off your happiness for vacations or promotions. Learn to be satisfied with where you are this moment. You'll stop the evil cycle of always being envious and hoping for more. It'll change your life, and you'll easily recognize those who will never be satisfied. Arcs down below at some cows grazing in the meadow and says, "How about we run down there and fuck one or two of those cows?" To which the old bull responds, "How about we walk down and fuck them all?" Becoming a better musician is like counting to infinity. Even when you get to 1,000,000, you're no closer than when you started. Anthony Wellington. As a musician, this really resonates with me. I also feel it applies to all things in life, not just music. Everyone, every day, does their best. No one ever wakes up and says, "I'm going to fuck up my life today." Maybe you needed better sleep, or an antacid, or whatever. You probably did the best you could on that day. At that time, forgive yourself. Never argue with an idiot. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try and cheer someone else up. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember things. Or Mark Twain. I heard this in elementary school a long-ass time ago, and it is as true now as it was then. Confucius said, "If you go to sleep with an itchy bum, you shall awaken with smelly fingers." Spoiler alert, I don't think Confucius actually said that. Don't ever, for any reason, do anything for anyone, for any reason, ever. No matter what, no matter where, or who you are with, or where you are going, or where you've been, ever, for any reason whatsoever. Michael Scott. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. Do not accept abuse. You deserve to be loved and to feel loved just for being you. Nile Rodgers. Mash up with my meditation teacher. A stitch in time saves 9. Never test the depth of water with both feet. This too shall pass, waste not, want not. A penny saved is a penny earned. Especially for the younger generation, self-defense is your God-given right. Poopy dee scoop, scoop diddy whoop. Whoop de scoop de poop. Poop de scoop tea whoop. Whoopity scoop. Whoop poop. Poop diddy. Whoop scoop. Poop, poop. Scoop diddy whoop. Whoop diddy scoop. Whoop diddy scoop. Poop. Kanye West. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Definitely not a hard rule to live by, as not everything that needs to be said is nice. But it's a phrase that has helped me pick my battles over the years. I can show you the path, but I cannot walk it for you, meaning that I can give you all the advice you want, but you need to be the one to take it or do it. This is a personal saying of mine. I have said for years. Slime more complicated than we imagine. Nothing is black and white. Everything is a spectrum. There are no perfect solutions. Everything is a trade-off, and anyone who tells you otherwise has an agenda. My grandma used to say, if your eyes are closed and you feel a tickle in the back of your head, a dick in your mouth, oh wait, it was reach for the stars. I get the two confused sometimes, lol. Chicken soup is called Jewish penicillin for reason. It works. If you don't ask, they can't say yes. Nuke until they glow, and shoot them in the dark. Sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. It's wrong. Mystery of humor is often easily revealed by funny-sounding letters like G, K, and R and other sounds. It's also why words that have those types of pronunciations are often seen as disparaging. You are 100% responsible for your life and its results. Sometimes things are out of your control. However, if you act as if they are in your control, you can reclaim much and move towards success. Time heals all and destroys all. It is the ultimate cleanser of souls. All your pain, your joy, your worries, all lost in oblivion. It is not loud or scary. Just a long, quiet salvation. My dad used to always say can't never did anything when we were little, and would whine and say I can't do it. In other words, if you think you can't do something, you never will. Confucius. By 3 methods we may learn wisdom: first, by reflection, which is noblest; second, by imitation, which is easiest; and third, by experience, which is the bitterest. If you want to know what your spouse partner is gonna be like in 30 years, look at their parents. I was told this by one of my parents. It's absolutely true in many ways. Do good, with no other explanation. This implies that you need to figure out and develop the capability to determine what good is. Turns out good is highly situational. Lies take the elevators, while the truth climbs the stairs. This line creates such a great mental image the truth gets there, so might as well be honest upfront. The Italian phrase, il diavolo fa la pentola ma non I coperci, meaning the devil makes pots, but not lids. All deceptions will be discovered eventually. Thanks for the advice. I'll take it into consideration. Many people have advice, often very well-meaning. Very rarely does it 100 fit your exact situation. If you smell shit all day, check your own shoes. Extra OB. In other words, if a person seems to have a problem with everyone else, they're probably the issue. I read this one here yesterday. Whatever you aren't building up is decaying. Your muscles, your finances, your curiosity, relationships, etc. Edit. Word. From my BF, I'd like to buy that person for what they're worth and sell them for what they think they're worth. Also, it's a good life if you don't weaken the skill of letting go, people, situations, pain, anxiety, stress. Good luck to everyone. You're not perfect, that's a fact. Accept it and just live. Life is like a camera. Focus on what's important. Capture the good times. Develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, take another shot. Just because something needs to be done does not mean you have to be the one to do it. Credit my boss in the middle of a burnout-induced breakdown.